welcome to the Warrior's Promise, where we unlock the path to reclaiming your personal power. I'm your host, Victoria Islas, a master trainer, functional health coach, energy healer, and metaphysical practitioner, guiding you through a journey of strength from the inside out. We're going to explore how movement, nutrition, and mindset can help you take back control of your life. This isn't just about fitness or food. This is about healing on all levels, physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's about tapping into your warrior spirit and using that power to face life's challenges with resilience, grace, and confidence. So take a deep breath, stand tall, and let's step into the strength that's already within you. Welcome back to another episode of The Warrior Promise. I'm Coach Victoria Islas, your go-to master trainer and health coach, helping everyday warriors like you live a long, strong, and pain-free life. So if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. I'm stoked to have you here. And for my longtime listeners, you already know what's up. You're a warrior. So this week, I sent out an email to my subscribers about weight loss. And March is going to be all about weight loss, but from a holistic and sustainable perspective, okay? Because let's be real, I'm not about quick fixes. I'm not about extreme BS. There's a lot of stuff on social media and online, and I'm just here to just call it BS, okay? So I also touched on that new medication that everyone's going crazy over, which is the GLP-1s. You probably have heard about them. You probably have not, but I won't be diving into that today. I'll save that for a future episode because there's a lot to unpack there, and I just want to make sure that if I do talk about something like that, I got all my facts straight, right? So, by the way, if you're not subscribed to my newsletter yet, you should be, because every Monday I send out my raw, unfiltered thoughts as a coach, and it's totally free. So wherever you're listening to this, you can find the link below. So don't just be there. All right, let's get into it. Why does the body hold on to weight even when you feel like you're doing everything right? That's today's topic. I actually did a short YouTube video on this, but on the podcast, we're going to go a little deeper. So, here's the truth. Sometimes your body just isn't working against you. I think we think right away, like, man, we start, trying to control our body more. We start punishing our body. But it's not working against you. It's actually, get this, okay? Listen, it's actually protecting you, okay? And this is where metaphysics, the mind and body connection, and all that deep inner work come into play. A lot of trainers and nutritionists will skip over this part because it doesn't fit into their, usual calories in, calories out mentality, or maybe they're not educating themselves on this because, they don't believe in things that are outside of the science. And I know, science matters, but I just want to remind anyone and everyone, and you, the listener, that you are not just a physical body, all right? Even science has proven this. You are a whole-ass human being with multiple dimensions, which includes physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental. And if you're only focusing on diet and exercise, think about it, that's only the physical. That's not going to address what's going on in your heart and in your head. And you're missing a big piece of the puzzle as a warrior, all right? And I love this quote. It's been popping up for me on Instagram lately, and I'm actually going to give this a little twist on my own Instagram, so make sure you follow me over there. You can go to the gym, you can drink your water, you can take your vitamins, but if you don't deal with the shit that's going on in your heart and mind, you're still going to be unhealthy. And I fucking love that because it's the truth. Some people may disagree, but for me, it's the truth. So, if you're listening right now, I want you to take a moment. I want you to really sit with this, grab a notebook or open up your notes app and write down these reflection questions because I never let my listeners leave without doing a little bit of homework, okay? So here's some self-reflection questions. 1, what emotions am I holding on to that I haven't processed? 2, how do I really feel about my body beyond just what I see in the mirror? And this one's very important, particularly for women. 3, what's my relationship with food? Do I see it as fuel? Do I see it as comfort, control, or something else? 4, is there stress, trauma, or grief that I haven't fully acknowledged, right? 5, what's my inner dialogue like? Am I constantly speaking negatively to myself? Okay, so Think about those things, write down your answers, take your time with these, but just know that the more honest you are with yourself, the more you're going to start uncovering the real reasons. I'll emphasize that, the real reasons why your body might be holding on to the weight. And listen, this isn't about blaming anyone or blaming yourself. It's about awareness, activating the awareness, because when you start connecting the dots between your mind, your body, and your emotions, you're giving yourself the power to shift things in a real and lasting way. And that's what I mean with sustainability. All right. So in this next part of the episode, I'm just going to go straight into it. I'm going to break down how stress, trauma, and even your nervous system can affect weight retention. And more importantly, what you can do about it. So let's head over to the next section. So let's talk about survival mode, because that's a huge reason why your body might be holding on to weight. And I say might because there could be other things, right? Like there could be some medical reasons why, especially if you haven't been to a doctor or maybe a functional doctor, right? There probably still could be some things outside of this. But just for today, let's talk about again, the protection mode that we're talking about. So your body is wired, get this, your body is wired to keep you safe. And if it senses any kind of threat, whether physical, emotional, or even mental, it's going to react accordingly, right? So think about it. If you're constantly stressed out, let's say under eating or maybe over exercising, and by the way, over exercising is actually a lot more common than I ever thought. After being a fitness instructor for so long, I see how people like literally overdo the gym stuff. Your body's going to perceive that as a danger. Okay. It doesn't know the difference between running from a tiger and running on 5 hours of sleep while you're juggling your work, family, and like a million responsibilities, right? That's America. So in both cases, your nervous system kicks into high alert, and your body responds by slowing down your metabolism, by increasing fat storage, by holding on to the weight as a protective mechanism. Protective mechanism. I'm going to repeat that a few times. And then there's trauma, right? If you've experienced deep emotional wounds, let's say grief, loss, abuse, or chronic stress. For example, for me, it's been grief. The last year, I haven't lost any weight. Okay. I'm a coach, but I have not lost any weight because my body is holding on to the weight to protect me from the grief. And on top of that, I'm dealing with my autoimmune condition, right? And, it's not a big deal for me. I understand it. I'm aware of it. I'm doing all the inner work this year. I think by the end of the year, I might start losing, my body might allow me to lose some weight finally. Because I'm doing the action, I'm doing the work that I need to do, the inner work. But that's where your story might be different, okay? Mine is grief. I lost my mother last year. And with that came it opened a lot of other things up, a lot of other wounds with my dad who passed away in 2017. And so I'm dealing with a lot of that. Your situation might be completely different. Maybe it's loss. Maybe, a loss of a friendship. A lot of people don't talk about friendships as relationships. That hurts. That brings pain. Right? Loss of a job, especially right now. I mean, people are losing their jobs left and right. Hey, that's a kind of loss, and that's a kind of grief. That's a stress, right? Abuse, chronic stress. All right. So your body may be holding on to weight as a form of armor, and I love to use that visualization because I'm all about the warrior lifestyle, right? So yes. The protection is like an armor. So your subconscious mind sees that extra weight as a barrier, as a way to shield yourself from pain, either that you're currently experiencing or pain that you've held on to in the past, and from vulnerability, right? And so again, it's shielding you from the pain, from the tension, from the vulnerability. And unless you start addressing the root cause, and when I say root cause, a lot of people might go straight to the physical part, straight into the medical. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the root cause when it comes to the metaphysics, the things that we cannot see, the things that we feel, right? The energy that surrounds us. But no amount of dieting or exercise is going to change that. Okay? I'm telling you that right now. Now let's get into the sciencey parts. And there are hormones at play here, right? So you got chronic stress that jacks up chronic levels of cortisol, and when you leave cortisol to run the show, your body is going to go into fat storage mode. High cortisol can lead to inflammation. It can lead to blood sugar imbalances, cravings for sugar and processed foods, and overall difficulty losing weight, even when you're doing everything right. Okay. So what are some things that you can do about it? So earlier I gave you reflection questions. Now I'm going to give you, just a couple more things that you can do. You can take what works for you and what doesn't resonate with you, just leave it out. But here are some suggestions that I would make as a coach. And these are suggestions that, by the way, I charge for, and I help clients with this stuff. And you're getting it for free on this podcast. Okay, so reducing stress, right? Reducing stress is number one. And you can do this very easily through meditation, through breath work, gentle movements like yoga, or, of course, because I'm a still mace trainer, I would even recommend a light, gentle still mace movement with a wooden mace. Which normally these wooden maces are between like 1 to 5 pounds. And I go deeper into this in my Still Mace membership. If you want to check that out, stillmacewarrior.com. Then we've got prioritizing sleep, because if you're not resting, your body is staying in survival mode. And I don't think people realize how crucial sleep is. I don't think they realize that when they don't sleep, your body is protecting you and it's going into survival mode. You're supposed to naturally be in tune with the circadian rhythms, okay? And when all this is fucked up, trust me, you're going to feel real fucked up too. So I know when I lose sleep, I actually have a Whoop, and I'll add the link to a free 30-day trial of the Whoop. If you click on that link, you'll go ahead and get that for free. But I've been using it for a month now, and I absolutely love it. Not only is it great for prioritizing sleep, right? It's also great to let me know my strain levels. It tells me how many calories I burn in the day. It tells me how many steps I've done. But my main two focuses of the Whoop would be the sleep and the recovery, which comes down to the strain levels. Because for someone with autoimmune disorder like me, I have to make sure that my recovery is in tip-top shape, and I want to have that data so that I don't get hurt or I don't put myself into a flare-up stage, right? So there's a lot of reasons why a Whoop would benefit for typically for any goal, right? For any type of situation, but it's really great for the sleep and for that data that you need to just live a healthier life. So I'm going to go ahead and add the link to that, okay? And again, if you click on that link, you'll get a 30-day free trial from me, all right? So, and then we got eating enough nourishing food. So your body, it just don't make it think that it's starving, all right? So a lot of people try to do that restrictive dieting. Don't do that, all right? Feed it nourishing foods. You can start off by adding it and then slowly working on your behavioral habits, and do it little by little, all right? Don't get into the gimmicks, right? Don't get into the circus of lose 30 pounds in 1 month. No, do it sustainably, all right? And if you need help with the nourishing part, with the body, with the physical, with the fitness and the nutrition, I do have coaching services, which I'll talk about at the end of this podcast. And then we've got processing emotions. With processing emotions, you could do this through journaling, therapy. And I come from a Mexican culture where therapy is very woo-woo. Therapy is not accepted very well, especially in the older generations. And then like my mom and my dad, they didn't know what therapy was. I had to educate myself on that. And now I'm educating you on therapy is amazing. Therapy worked for me. When my mom passed away last year, I knew I needed it. Period. Like there is no freaking way I would have got through those first 6 months of dealing with the grief. Okay. I needed a therapist. And so I got the BetterHelp app, and it was a great choice for me. I didn't really have any options here locally in Yuma. And I paid out of pocket, and it wasn't super expensive. And thankfully I had a little bit of money saved up, and I was able to do that. So I recommend BetterHelp if, again, you don't have options locally, or maybe you just want an easy way to just boom, like get on the app and you'll be with a therapist in like a matter of minutes, right? Therapy is really great for processing emotions. Then we've got simply giving yourself permission to feel. A lot of times when we go through the grief, the loss, the whatever trauma, whatever stress, we tend to like shove it down our body. And then that's when it stagnates, and it starts creating a lot of negative effects, just like not being able to lose weight. Okay. So you need to process those feelings by giving yourself permission to feel. There's nothing wrong with being vulnerable. You can do this in your alone time. If you want to do it alone, that's fine. And other things you can try and that I recommend is Reiki. I'm a Reiki practitioner, so I truly believe in Reiki. And I also recommend magnetic therapy. You can do a quick Google search to learn more about this. I'll probably do a podcast episode in the future on both of these, just because I'm really big on it, and because I actually provide Reiki in my 360 approach. I do distance Reiki, so you can only see how important or how much I love these types of modalities for the processing emotions. Okay, and then finally, practicing self-compassion. Shifting your mindset from punishment to care. A lot of times we punish ourselves. For whatever reason, we're really mean to ourselves. And so I'm here to tell you to just be a little more compassionate and be a little more kind to all these dimensions of you. You know, don't be so freaking hard on yourself. All right. Things take time. Don't believe what you see on the TV. Don't believe what you see on social media. Don't believe the fad diets. Don't let them get you down. All right. Just practice self-compassion. Know that your time will come. You just have to put in the work, and you got to just keep going at it. All right. And obviously, if you have a good coach to help you through it, that's always recommended. All right. And then lastly, just those are the 5 that I would recommend, right? Reduce stress, prioritize sleep, eat enough nourishing foods, process your emotions, practice self-compassion, but know that your body is not your enemy. All right. Your body is not your enemy. It is your greatest ally. It just needs to feel safe. It needs to feel safe before it lets go, right? And how you do this is by creating that safe space for yourself, creating that space for you to do your inner work, and telling your body, hey, I'm okay. And you do that by what? By reducing your stress, by prioritizing sleep, by eating enough nourishing food, by processing your emotions, by practicing self-compassion. It's a combo. Your body will love you for it, all right? And that's where the real work begins. And like I said, these are things most fitness and nutrition coaches don't talk about. But if you're looking to approach your goals in a way that actually honors your body, your mind, and your whole dimensional self, then I welcome you to check out my coaching services. I take a full 360 approach to help you get where you want to be. Personally, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, you got it. All right? When I program things for my clients, it's always personalized. And it's based off of very in-depth first consultation. And we get into where you want to be, okay? Because everyone has different goals. Don't get another cookie cutter program that just doesn't meet you where you're at. All right. And when you're ready, I'm here. Okay. Applications are open for one-on-one coaching. I don't know how long they're going to be open, but they're open right now. And you can find all the details in the link below. Other than that, let's connect. Follow me on social media. Say, hey, warrior, and let me know what resonated with you in this episode. Again, all the links are below. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you in the next episode.